Dolphin game merch. We got new workout clothes available for y'all. We got everything you need right here. We got basketball, shirts, property of Dolphin Gang football. Come on, man. Y'all support the channel, man. We checking out CJ Bethard. Me personally, I think this is QB number 2. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. QB number 2. Hopefully we get to see him. He's wearing Ryan Fitzpatrick's old number. He's the best backup since Fitzpatrick. In my honest opinion, the best backup. We're gonna see what he gonna do in this offense. He has some familiarity with the head coach, Mike McDaniel. So we gonna see if he's gonna be able to come in and execute immediately. This is the first guy that came in from the 49ers. We had some trade talks with Jimmy Garoppolo, or we was gonna sign him when he was a free agent. We had those talks, but right now he over there with the LA Rams. So this is the first guy that I think is a Mike McDaniel guy that we bringing in. The first guy. You can't say that Skylar Thompson. You can't say that Mike White. You could say that's Skylar Thompson, but at the same time, we've seen what Skylar Thompson is out there. This is the first guy coming out from in. We ain't draft CJ Bethard. That might be a good thing, that might be a bad thing. I don't know. But with CJ Bethard, based off his pedigree, his grandpa was on the 17-0 Dolphins team. That one, did we win the Super Bowl that year? I'm not too sure. But he was meant to be a Dolphin ever since birth. CJ Bethard, meant to be a Dolphin. So hopefully we get to see at least a little bit of him. At least a little bit. Some years he played 7 games. Some years he played 2 games. It all just depends on the situation, the quarterback situation. All just depends with CJ. Right here we got his former teammate, Desmond King. I think he's with the Texans right now, if I'm not mistaken, with the Texans. Let's check this out.
All right, Desmond, you went to college at Iowa with 49ers quarterback CJ Bethard. Give us a little scouting report on him.
I would just say, a phenomenal athlete. He's very competitive on and off the field. He's going to give his 110%, and I feel like, just watch a film on him, he looks more, I'll say, experienced this year for sure from last year.
Is your knowledge a little bit of an extra something in that DB room? A little insight on him?
Yeah, definitely. We all know that he can use his legs, and run the ball. We know he can throw the ball, or he wouldn't be the starting quarterback for him right now. But, it's an opportunity for him, so, we got to seize the opportunity as well and get the ball out there.
What is his biggest asset that's the most important part to contain about him?
I would say his legs. Not most quarterbacks can.
His legs. CJ Bethard, he's not like a running quarterback. So the fact that Desmond King is saying that his legs is a threat, that's impressive. I'm not trying to say, this is the MVP of the league, the best quarterback in the NFL, but this is a quarterback I hold high regard in regards to him knowing Mike McDaniel 49er system. So if he comes in, I don't think it's going to be too hard for him to figure everything out. I don't think so.
The ball. So, when he is active on their roster and active at quarterback, they switch a little bit up and start running more run option with the quarterback. So, that's going to put more plays into his hands. So now we have to focus on, whether him running the ball, handing the ball off, or faking the run and throwing it down the field.
And then lastly, how exciting is it for you to actually get, be able to go up against him, maybe get a pick on him, maybe even get in his face a little bit?
It's going to be a very exciting game, between all of us. Me, George, you got Greg Maben out there, cornerback for them as well, and CJ. So, it's going to be a good, family reunion between us 4, and, I hope to see them.
All right, thanks, Des.
He and Jake Rudock were in really close competition back in 2013, and Jake won the job. But CJ was a very young player at that time. He always has had a good skill set. So the biggest thing we've seen, like a lot of players,
that's Kudo right there,
matured over the course of time. And most impressively, I think the job that he's done since January, it's got us feeling really good about him being our quarterback.
I don't know why they have a hard time finding quarterbacks at Iowa. Nobody really want to pull up over there. Nobody really does. Here's Grant Cohen. Y'all go check out his YouTube. He talked about the 49ers. He's going to talk about CJ Bethard in this video right here.
I couldn't have had a lower opinion of CJ heading into last week's game. But then he beat Kyler Murray. and a Cardinals team that was not laying
Hey, we just lost to Kyler Murray. What a coincidence.
down, that was trying to win. He played a mature, safety first game and won. And now my question to you is, could he be a starter in the NFL?
Well, in my honest opinion, I wouldn't say that he can be a starter anytime soon. Maybe after some more years when he could be a backup of a veteran quarterback who can teach him some things about football. What I like to say about the performance that CJ had last game is that although he was great, it was mainly because of the playbook that Kyle Shanahan wrote for that game. I think
So with CJ Beathard, he not gonna be able to go out there and do it all by himself. You know, you're gonna have to call the right plays for that boy if you gonna win. So, if you do that, CJ Beathard, he a veteran. He's seen a lot of defenses. He gonna know what to do in regards to what he sees out there from the defense. And I feel like we're gonna be able to execute if we ever are in a situation as to where we need a backup again and Tua get hurt. You know.
the main similarities between the Rams game when we had Nick Mullins as a starter and this Cardinals game when we had CJ Beathard as a starter. It was that both of them got a really easy to execute playbooks from Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
And it was the main reason why they both could succeed against our divisional opponents.
I feel like our playbook is too hard for players that are coming in and that need to replace Tua in regards to him being hurt. It's too hard for them boys. You gotta work on the timing, and then you gotta learn the playbook. Like, it's in only 2 weeks, 1 week. Like, come on, man, be for real. Be for real. That's why you should have had a good ass backup at the beginning of training camp and not waiting to the middle to make sure that you got the right one. Come on, man, ridiculous.
On those games. But don't get me wrong. I must say that I'm happy for CJ. It was by far the best game of him. What I have seen.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely the best game. He's had some nice performances in the past where he's thrown for stuff, like put up good numbers, but he always found a way to lose. And in this game, he didn't do that.
Yep. And what I want to say is that I don't.
With CJ, if he start playing too much, he gonna start falling off. Like, he might come in and look good, but you just gonna have to keep on maintaining with CJ. Like, that's all I'm really trying to say. You can't let him do it by himself.
Mind that he has the ability to be a starter right now in the NFL, maybe in the future. But I think somehow it's the same with when we are talking about Nick Mullins, that he is a decent backup quarterback. He proved that he can be a decent backup quarterback, but they are just backups. And you don't have to expect anything more from them. And when you got that monster performance, or at least a pretty good performance from them, you have to be happy. But there's nothing else. They are just good as backup quarterbacks when they got the right playbook to play.
Yeah, and he got the right playbook last week. He went up against a defense that was missing some players, and he played a competent game. I don't think he's going to be able to do it this week, Botond. I think he's going up against a defense that's really good and really well coached. They're going to take away that run game. They're going to force the game. They're going to make Bethard be the focal point of the offense, and I think he's gonna really play bad. And what I want to say about CJ is, not only do I not think he can be a starter in the NFL, I don't think he can be a backup either. Like, he's going to be
Yeah, he tried him. Damn, Cohen. God dang.
an unrestricted free agent this year. And the Niners might re-sign him because Mullins might need surgery and may not be able to be a backup next year. I mean, they might need someone who knows the playbook. But if they don't sign him, I'm not sure another team would sign him. Botan. I don't know that he's shown that much that another team would be like, you know what? That's a guy that's worth the spot on my roster. Because most teams have two quarterbacks, and most teams, their number two quarterback is someone that they're somewhat intrigued with. And I don't think you can be intrigued with CJ Beathard. The way I'm going to real quick, and I'll be done. But I'll say, I don't know if you know who his grandfather is, but his grandfather was the general manager of Washington in the 80s. He won Super Bowls, and I think also the Chargers in the 90s. He's a Hall of Famer, Bobby Bethard. And I don't know, he must have helped out a bunch of people along the way. And he probably had a lot of people who owed him favors along the way.
No way he said this.
Only thing I can understand is that
No
the reason
way.
CJ started at Iowa and was a third-round pick is because someone owed Bobby Bethard a favor, and because I just don't see it with him. I don't think he was good enough.
I mean, he was pretty good at Iowa. He wasn't too bad. He wasn't.
To be in the NFL or be a third-round pick, he should have been an undrafted free agent. If his name was CJ Smith, he would have been an undrafted free agent. So I think enough of paying back Bobby. Enough. That's all.
Funny.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't think he's earned anything. You know, when he does have a decent game, it's like, yeah, Kyle did that.
Wow.
He just didn't turn the ball. But whatever.
Hey, we could work with that, man. We could work with that.
Whatever.
Whoever had a great game this year, I said that it was mainly because of Kai
Like
Shannon.
I said, we're not looking for a starter here. You know, some people, they're going to be like, yeah, you disrespectful for looking for another quarterback. What now? We 2-5. What now? What now? What now? Let me know. Right here we have Larry Krueger, 49ers content creator. You know, pretty good himself. I'll be watching him sometimes when I got to find about the 49ers.
Here in the studio of KMBR 680, talking 49er
We're going to
football.
talk about CJ.
All right, 49ers are 0-4, and it is time to jump ship from Hoyer to CJ Bethard. The Bears just benched Mike Glennon for Mitchell Trubisky. He was 1-3, Hoyer's 0-4. Trubisky is obviously a talented player, but so is CJ Bethard. 49ers, one of the things they have to do this year is they got to find out what CJ Bethard is. And CJ Bethard was impressive in the preseason. He played like a veteran. Brian Hoyer's not getting it done on third down.
That's the main thing about CJ. He plays like a veteran. You know, when you go out there, he's going to play like a veteran.
They're not getting it done on the scoreboard. They're not scoring touchdowns, and that's the job of a quarterback. But just take a look at some of these numbers. 49ers have 0 touchdowns in 3 of 4 games. Hoyer's completing 58% of his passes. And
I mean, Tua not doing that, but at the same time, we 2-5. It's feeling like it. It's feeling like we're not doing nothing out there.
He's converting only 26% of their third downs, which is one of the worst in all of football. In the fourth quarter against Arizona, Hoyer went 3 for 11 for 7 yards.
Wow.
The 49ers had 5 drives in the fourth quarter against Arizona. They had 5 punts, and they did nothing offensively. I'm not saying C.J. Beathard's a world beater, but I'm saying it's time for C.J. Beathard.
Exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but, you know, I feel like C.J. Beathard, he's the second best quarterback on the team. Second best quarterback on the team in a little while. I have to give that second spot to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then I gotta put C.J. Beathard at third. Then you gotta put Tua first. You know, unless you like Jacoby Brissett more than C.J. Beathard, then that's a whole different story. But I think C.J. got it a little bit on Jacoby. You know, even though Jacoby has experience, a lot of experience, I don't know, man. I don't know, CJ. I feel like CJ a little better.
Number 2 stands out in Iowa quarterback C.J. Beathard's mind. It's the number of losses he has suffered as QB1. It's also the number of games he was fully healthy for in 2015.
Started in practice, how much could he do? I mean, when we got ready to play Northwestern, we didn't make a big point of this or any point of it. You know, he didn't practice until Friday morning. We didn't know if he would play a quarter or whatever. But you know, he is a tough guy, and so you know.
Yeah, CJ definitely tough. Most definitely tough.
The season went on, we were able to get him in and out of practice a little bit more, but we had to be careful, you know, during the week.
But it's a step forward in the right direction for the Big Ten second team honoree as movement becomes part of his play again.
One of the best I've felt since week 3 of the season, so feeling pretty good. It's great to know. It helps my confidence level, knowing that I can do stuff with my feet and able to get out and run and
see, he's not fast. He's a little elusive for a guy his size.
I'm feeling that good. I can do that.
Let's not forget about Bethard's arm. His 2,809 yards last year instilled even more trust between him, Coach Ferentz, and Coach Davis.
Our relationship has definitely grown over the past 4 years. And when you first get here, you're kind of timid. You don't really know him very well. But I think over the past few years, especially after last year, I think we got a lot closer. And he was able to trust me with some things, play-wise, offensively. And after the season, I think, hopefully this upcoming season, they'll trust me with even more.
He goes up to German Ink or Jay and says, look, I want this route run this way. It's real close to me saying that, I mean, to those kids, because they say, okay, this guy's played. He knows exactly what it's supposed to look like.
The other thing between Coach Ferentz and his quarterback is the comparisons between Bethard and the 2002 then quarterback Brad Banks. It's not only their numbers that are similar, but also their personalities.
You see, like, CJ ain't really put up big numbers, but compared to the Iowa quarterbacks, ever since 2002, CJ was the best one, and ever since up until now, he's still the best quarterback from Iowa. You know,
I'm not saying he's Brad Banks, but there's some parallels in that it's just the way he carries himself and just the way he does things. And Brad, you know, one of the great all-time stories in college football, let alone Iowa football, just his story.
Yeah, that boy
especially
moving.
When he came back from some adversity.
That boy look like
Banks
Vic.
was also runner-up in the Heisman race that year.
Oh,
but
wow.
only the future will tell for Bethard. Reporting with the Hawkeyes outside of Kinnick Stadium, this has been Taylor Brooks with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Yeah, he don't look too bad, Brad.
I only pay $39 a month on auto insurance, full coverage. I'm sorry, $39? Is that like real? Yep, it's totally legit.
Jay Bethard, what did you guys see in him to make
Here's John Lentz, the GM for the 49ers, talking about CJ.
him the sixth quarterback taken when few people saw that one coming?
Well, Kyle Shanahan, one thing I've learned, Rich, is that he has a real specific vision at each position, what he's looking for. And C.J. Bethard, as much as any quarterback in this draft, kind of matched what he likes. And so we were sitting there again with
C.J. Bethard, Iowa, Brock Purdy, Iowa State, you know.
So many draft picks. You know, we started the day with, or started the draft with 10 before the Bears trade, then had even more ammo. So we had a ton of picks. CJ was a guy we had decided as a staff, if available at the right time, which we had in the 4th round, let's go get him. And he's a great guy to try to develop. And he had a lot of the qualities that we admire and respect at that position. We're sitting there, and I'm looking, and we've got all these picks, and we said, let's be patient, but then, to heck with patience. I want to sleep well tonight, knowing we got a guy that we coveted at a real integral position. Then there was some feelings in the room. It puts undue pressure on him. If we trade up to get him in the 3rd, now all of a sudden everyone's thinking that he's going to be a starter, and that's not what we want him to develop. And I said, guys, I understand that, but I don't care about perception. If this is a guy we want, I feel like getting some sleep, and I'll sleep better if we get C.J. Bethard. So let's go do it. And so I felt like it was calculated, and we said, you know what, let's go do it. And we got a guy we liked. And so he's an interesting guy to add to the mix with Brian Hoyer and Matt Barkley, and see what he can become. Kyle really appreciates a lot of the traits, as do I, that he possesses.
Well, John, again, like speaking of small world, so your first draft, you take a kid that you took a class with to get your degree in Stanford, and then you take Bobby Bethard's grandson to hope he's the next quarterback, maybe of the future.
The rich.
Hey, he ain't end up being that, but the 49ers, they know what they're doing in regards to getting quarterbacks. I think there wasn't a lot of good quarterbacks coming out that year. There wasn't a lot of good ones, and the 49ers, they ain't need to get a quarterback in the 1st round, so hey, that was their draft to get a guy just to get him, and C.J. Bethard, he ended up having a career in the NFL, so I'd say that's a good pick. Right here we got C.J. Bethard after a win with the Jaguars. I forgot who they went up against. It looked like the Panthers in the background. There goes Bozeman, I think.
All right, CJ, it's been 3 years since you started and won a football game. Is
Wow.
this exactly how you remember it?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than winning. It's been a long
He's like the new age Ryan Fitzpatrick. New age Ryan Fitzpatrick.
time, getting out there and getting a start. I'm just blessed for the opportunity, blessed to be on this team with this group of guys. The defense played great. The guys around me played great. O-line, Travis, they ran their tails off, and it's just a great week. You as a backup, you don't get a ton of opportunities, so when you do, it's great to get in here and get a win, and it's nothing better.
Helps a little when you've got a guy like this who's making the other quarterback's life not so fun.
Absolutely, man. Our defense, I can't. Hats off to them today. They got after that offense and that quarterback, and Josh had 3 sacks. He was tearing it up like he always does, and it was just fun to watch him play free and have fun out there.
Josh, you told me before the game that you were going to respond today. You got the franchise record. You beat your mentor, Calais Campbell. You had the 3 sacks. What was working so well?
I think it just started with Monday. You know, we came in with a purpose. You know, we had a sit down on
3 sacks, that's crazy.
A much needed talk. You know, for grown men,
That's
we need
crazy.
to talk sometimes, man, and we all needed it. And I think it started right there. And then that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, up to this point, I was prepared.
He could play a linebacker too. I'm not even gonna lie. He was playing linebacker and D end at Kentucky.
You know,
He's
the
doing
defense was
both.
prepared off CJ. You talking about me? We practice CJ every day. We know what he's capable of. We know the talent. We know everything that he can. The grit, the toughness. Banged up, made a big play. Like just hitting the dude. That was amazing, by the way. I celebrated really hard for that one. But you know, we just got trust and confidence in this whole team, man. And hopefully, this is the building block to what we need to achieve. And it's on to the next one.
You know, last one, you said that CJ's so talented. He has a hidden talent. He can sing. You think you can get him to sing
For
for
real?
us?
Shouldn't have told him that. Now he's going to have me sing in the locker room or something. Hey, I'm not rookie anymore. I don't have to do it, so.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, I used to sing back at now. Play guitar.
All right, gentlemen, enjoy this one, and we'll see you next week.
You know, like CJ, he gonna be able to manage the game. Like, look at the stats right here.
Yeah, getting out there and getting a start. It's
17 of 24, 178 yards. You know, so he's gonna be able to manage the game. But you see how good Josh Allen was talking about him? Y'all seen that, right? So even though he's not gonna put up a lot of numbers, maybe not, who knows? I just feel like CJ Bethard, he's gonna be able to come in and win you a game. You know, with Skylar Thompson going in, I just ain't think that. Mike White, I just ain't think that. All the other quarterbacks, I just ain't think that. To be real. You gotta throw.
First, it always starts with protection. The protection is good.
Money.
But there you go, Tavon Austin winning from the slot.
Money.
On a little.
That's Tavon Austin?
First, it always starts with protection. The protection is good. But there you go, Tavon.
Shout out to Tavon, the best college highlights of all time. Y'all go check that out, man. No, so he got a pretty good arm. I'm not even gonna lie. CJ Bethard has a pretty good arm. I think he could work. Veteran presence. You know. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all let me know. Here's another throw by CJ. I don't know who he reminds me of as a quarterback. I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know in the comments, like somebody that he reminds you of. You know, I can't really think of anybody. Like I said, me is Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick got a stronger arm than him. You know, but very similar players in regards to their playing style, body structure, all that. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he low-key got some legs. I'm not even gonna lie. He low-key got some legs, and CJ Bethard, he has some legs too. You know, pretty good arms, both of them. But I think Ryan Fitzpatrick just has a little better arm than CJ. A little better of an arm, to be real.
I'm joined now by Mike Florio to talk about the news that everyone's been talking about basically all week. We saw Tua Tagovailoa sustain another concussion against the Bills on Thursday night. What would be the latest on his status?
Well, there's a standard 5-step process that's used anytime a player has a concussion before he can be cleared to return to play. And there's no indication that anyone's going to try to rush it here. Let's do the right thing for everyone involved, and particularly for Tua Tagovailoa. Once he is cleared to play, if he's cleared to play, then he'll have a decision to make about whether he wants to play. But that is all to be determined with no urgency other than making sure he's okay. The Dolphins, meanwhile, have two quarterbacks, Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle. I'm told C.J. Bethard is on their short list. He knows the offense, and he's worked with Coach Mike McDaniel in the past. There's been some.
So I'm guessing it's the injury that happened. He said he was dealing with a groin injury, so he was already on the short list. But they're probably waiting for him to get healthy, you know. While they were looking for other backup quarterback previously, and we got Tyler Huntley, we probably hit him up to see how he was doing. But when he told us what he had going on, we went and hit up Tyler Huntley, you know, bring him back to the crib. But now he on injury reserve. Now we got C.J. Bethard when he's healthy. So maybe this is premeditated.
Talk about
Maybe.
Ryan Tannehill. I'm told Tannehill is going to be very selective. He wants to go somewhere where he'll be the starter, not just for a week or two, but for the rest of the year.
It's interesting because the decision that he's had to make before, back in 2022, after sustaining that concussion in Cincy.
Ryan Tannehill to the Raiders? Maybe. Maybe.
He sat out for 2 weeks. I went to Miami and talked to him before he came back in week 7, and he made it very clear he had sought second opinions. He was taking it very seriously, but he also wanted everyone to know that he loves football so much for what it can do for others, for the change that it can make, and we've actually seen some of that change from Bills fans after the concussion.
Yeah, I mean, Bills fans stepping up again, making tons of donations to his foundation. As of Saturday afternoon, it was over $50,000, and more and more people showing their appreciation for and concern for Tua Tagovailoa.
All right, the Tua Foundation dedicated to support the youth initiatives of health and...
Hey, the Bills, they are daddy for real. I'm not even gonna lie. The Bills are our daddy for real, man. Off of this alone. Hey, I appreciate y'all for that, but man, they babied us with this. Definitely babied us, bro. Trevor Lawrence benched for CJ Bethard. That's crazy. Them boys were lit off of that. I don't want no copyright. Just like back in the old days, man. I know y'all remember these days, man. At the mall, the food court. Man, Drewski's funny, man. Drewski is funny. Lean with it, rock with it. Lean with it, rock with it. I don't know why they wore the wrist thing like they an athlete or something. That's crazy what we was doing back in the day. It's crazy people thought this was cool. But that boy wearing a 4XL, bro, at 5'2". Just wild, man. Here is CJ Bethard throwing at, I think this is George Kittle's field. I think so. Like I told y'all, George Kittle, he played with CJ in college. So they got that connection. So I'm guessing he pulled up over there to his crib to work out on his field. But this is pretty nice right here, man. Pretty nice. You got a crib with a field in it. That's my goal right there. Boom. Good catch. Good catch. I don't know who the other people are. His arm could be stronger, but he got an okay arm. Just gonna look up some all-22 film real quick. I gotta see when's the last time this guy played, man. Did he play last year? What team was he on last year? The Jaguars? Okay, he was on the Jaguars. 26-0? He did that? Okay, let me try to search that up. Right here we have all 22. CJ. He was out there with Etienne, Calvin Ridley, Ingram. So he had some pieces over there. Agnew, Zay Jones, I see him out there. I see Anton Harrison. I see Cam Robertson. He just got traded over there to the Vikings. You know, they running the ball a lot with CJ. You know, you don't want him passing too much. You don't. Nice throw to Evan. First down. You know, we could do this with Jonnu Smith. Bomb. Nothing too hard for him. Just simple throws. You know, good reads. Good throw out of bounds to Agnew. Who is that, Agnew? I think that is. What happened to Agnew? What team he on right now? Dante Jackson, he was over there with the Panthers at this time. Good tackle by Jeremy Shin. He with the Commanders now, ain't it? Ain't that Bisbee? Yeah, that's Bisbee right there. So Bisbee was over there, but he wasn't as good as he is this year. Bisbee got way better this year. Way, way better. I see Parker Washington on the bottom. Good throw to Ridley. Good throw. You know, CJ Beathard, he gonna work with weapons. Give him some weapons, he gonna work. Good catch by Red. Good game by Etienne. You know, you put CJ in there, run the ball out with Jalen Wright. You know, if he need a check down, make sure A-Chain is over there so he can throw it. You know, we got Tyree, we got Waddle. You know, it looks like he likes to use the tight ends a lot. That's his sweet spot, the tight ends. You know, with CJ, you gotta take calculated risk. You know, it's either that or just run the ball, to be real. See Bisbee, he's getting carries. I seen Johnson out there. I seen Etienne out there. You know, that's the same thing that they doing now. But, you know, they got a more talented quarterback over there with Trevor Lawrence. There go Johnson. He getting carries. You know, they definitely running the ball more than they are passing it. You know, but that's how you gonna win, man. When you do that right there. Especially if your quarterback not good enough, you definitely got to run the ball more than you pass it. Who's the head coach at this time? Wasn't it Doug Peterson? I think it was. It had to be. There go Brandon Strange, the backup tight end to Evan Ingram. You know, the better blocker. Sack. But that's Brian Burns, you know. Like, he ran, but it was too late as soon as you see him coming. Brian Burns, he ran like a 4.5, 4.4. CJ Beathard, he don't run that. He definitely don't run that. At that point, you just got to go down. Kick. Good. Hey, he got them boys points. That's it. That's all I got to say. He got them boys points. But yeah, man, y'all let me know how y'all feel about CJ Beathard, man. Do you think he a good fit with the Dolphins? Let me know in the comments. Y'all go check out my merch. Let me put that up real quick. Y'all go get y'all Dolphin game merch. You know, we got new workout clothes available for y'all. We got everything you need right here. We got basketball, shirts, property of Dolphin Gang football. Come on, man. Y'all support the channel, man.